Welcome to the Soul-Bodied Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Anna Kinkela. As an entrepreneur, it's easy to get caught up in all the strategies, funnels, mindset hacks, and all the doing. And while strategies are important, success in entrepreneurship ultimately depends on you and how you are being within yourself and in your business. In this space, we explore how to alchemize your internal world and go deeper than mindset. We dive into topics like conscious leadership, embodiment, spirituality, and leading from a place of wholeness and belonging within as you expand into quantum level energetic soul embodiment. Welcome to episode 23 of the Soul-Bodied Entrepreneur. This episode is really jam-packed full of information. You're not going to want to miss it. I am interviewing an amazing mentor who works with clients through the lens of human design. And I can't wait for you to experience her. I can't wait for you to learn more about human design. And if you are already familiar with human design, this episode is also going to help you deepen in your own knowledge and also get some helpful tips on how to use strategy in your business according to your human design profile. So I'm excited for you to dive into this week's episode. And before I introduce my amazing guest mentor, and before we start the episode, I just want to do a few announcements because there is so much happening at Anna Kinkela. There's a lot of new offerings that I've launched, and two of them are free. Well, one of them is almost free. The first one is definitely completely free. And I wanted to tell you about them because if you've been following me for a while on Instagram, or if you've been listening to this podcast and you're really digging the information that I'm sharing here, the key to really understanding what this means for you is for you to experience it, because this is experiential work. So these two opportunities that I'm going to talk about and mention at the very beginning are really good entryways for you to just get a sense of what this work is like. The first one is a completely free offering, and it's a 5-day soul embodiment challenge that I am running from June 17th through the 21st. So this is going to give you an opportunity to really journey through the 5 elements of nature and deepen within yourself and really start to peel back layers of social, cultural programming so that you can arrive at that core essence, so you can embody that core essence. So that's really what we're walking through in the Soul Embodiment Challenge. I'd encourage you to just click the link that is in the notes so you can kind of explore what the challenge is all about further, but would definitely encourage you to join that and explore that. The second offering that I have is the Soul Bodied Sister Gathering. And this is for female entrepreneurs who are really craving community and connection in their life. This is $10 for each gathering. And this is why I said it's an almost free offering. And the reason I'm charging anything for it is because the spots are limited. There's only 6 spots for every gathering. And this is because I really wanted to create an intimate container so that I would really have time to connect with each entrepreneur who joins, so that I would really have time to do some deeper inner work with each woman who comes into the space. So it's being created in a very intentional way and a very safe way. And I really would love to invite all of you who need community, who need sisterhood, and let's face it, we all do, who are being pulled into coming into a gathering and releasing some deep energetic blocks and meeting other female entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things in the world. So there's going to be a link in the show notes as well, and I encourage you to click that, explore that, register. There's one happening Thursday, June 6th at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. There's also going to be gatherings throughout September. So I encourage you to come and experience it, see what it's like. That's another opportunity where you can actually experience the work that I do in a very real format. Like, I'm going to be working with you. You're going to get a sense of what it actually means to do embodiment work with me. So encourage you to check that out as well. And now let's dive into today's episode. So, like I said at the very beginning, today we are going to be diving into human design. And the guest mentor that's going to be teaching us about human design is Elisa Canali. And Elisa is a spiritual success coach, and she loves helping women through the power of human design and GeneKeys understand their unique energetic blueprint, helps them unlock and embody their soul mission and manage their business in alignment without burnout and hustle. She's someone who's really highly intuitive, clairvoyant, and really her superpower is to radically dissolve your blocks and catalyze your ability to trust yourself, because your success can only come from that place inside of you. And I wholeheartedly agree with Elisa there, which is one of the many reasons why I invited her onto the podcast. So Elisa and I have been connected for a little while now. And she also actually did a human design reading for me and just had a really amazing experience with her. And I received, so much insight into my own energy. Even though I do this work myself, it's so interesting and powerful to have something like human design that has a very structured approach to understanding people's energy that can help illuminate some like unconscious blind spots that you did not know were there. And so it has helped me just arrange my day and really tailor to what my energetic needs are in my business and help me open some energetic channels in that space. So she is going to go through and describe all of the different types in human design, what human design is. And there's so much really good, juicy information for you to receive here. So go ahead and tune in and enjoy the journey. Welcome to the Soul-Bodied Entrepreneur. This is your host, Anna Kinkela, and today I am so excited that we are being joined by Elisa Canali, and she is a spiritual success coach and human design expert. So today we are going to be talking about all things human design, and I cannot wait to learn more from her. Welcome, Elisa.
Thank you, Anna. I'm so excited to be here and share a little bit of time with you and with your listeners.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I'd love to just, if you could tell our listeners a little bit more about you and what you do, and then maybe we can launch into talking about human design. How does that sound? Okay,
awesome. Great. So I'm Italian, but I live in Spain, but I work in English. So I'm a little bit of, a mix of a lot of different aspects. And it's also part of me being a manifesting generator in human design that after I will explain better. And so I work from Barcelona with my business that is international. And it's all online. And I have clients like in Italy, Spain, France, Canada, US. So I really love this possibility to touch, globally as many people as possible. And I help them basically through the work with the human design, GeneKeys, and embodiment, also to understand their unique soul purpose and their unique energy blueprint, and how to integrate this into their business and also their life to create a more abundant and sustainable business and life for themselves and for, the family and the people around them.
I love the way that you're combining embodiment and human design. And, that's something that we definitely have in common, the embodiment piece. And I love to geek out on human design. So I'm super excited to, hear from you a little bit about what human design is and how you use that with your clients to help them become more successful. So I'd love to just hear a little bit more about that, because I know not everyone is familiar with what human design is.
So human design is a system that is like a beautiful combination between spiritual teachings and quantum physics, and was like downloaded in the 87 in the island of Ibiza, that is also in Spain. So it's near here where I live, and was downloaded by a man called Rarahu, that now is gone, is passed away. And basically he received, this download for 7 days about the whole system. And at the time it was even really, spiritual or into all of this knowledge. And is a combination between the chakra system, the tree of life from Kabbalah, the I Ching, that is the Chinese system of the 64 hexagram, and then the astrology combined with the quantum physics.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm curious, to know how, I'm familiar with astrology, and I think probably most people are now that it's pretty mainstream. But I'm just kind of wondering how you used human design to really help people be successful in their business. How does it help?
Mm-hmm. So basically, human design divides the population between 5 main energetic types that are manifestors, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. And then, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but already knowing your type and how you are supposed to respond and to function in your life and in your business, it's already a big shift, because we all have been conditioned to behave like manifestors that are just the 8% of the whole population. The typical Nike slogan of just do it, go for it, hustle, make it happen. And in reality, this is not like, basically almost 80% of the population cannot do that to be successful. So it's like going into your unique energy blueprint and the unique way on how you are supposed to create offers, responding to people, putting yourself out there, what kind of message is based on your also incarnation cross, that is your life purpose, what kind of business is more aligned with you and also with your energy type. For example, only manifesting generator and generators are energy types. That means that they have constant access to energy, and the more they do what they love, the more they receive energy. They recreate energy. But like projectors, reflector and manifestor, they are not energy type. So in an ideal world, also in business, the ideal for projector, for example, would be work maximum 2 to 3 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I love what you're tuning into here, which, is something I teach just from a different perspective, but it's that, each one of us has a different journey to success, and what works for one person isn't going to work for another. So, these energetic archetypes that human design presents really gives you kind of that blueprint of what is going to work best for you, for the kind of person that you are.
Exactly. And, I've always, since, a lot of time ago, when I didn't know human design, I was all about, we are all unique, think that needs to be customized to you. And now after, discovering the human design, it was like, wow, that is all makes sense. What I was like channeling and knowing, it makes sense. And now I have like a map, also my clients, a more clear map to follow, to know, how you are supposed to manage your energy, how you are supposed to create content on social media, how you are supposed to show up, what kind of type of strategy we can customize based on your type of energy, and how you need to behave and respond to life.
Yeah, I'd love for us to go more in depth in that in a moment. One of the things that I'm just really love about human design is how it recognizes the body inside of the energetic blueprint. And I haven't seen a lot of systems do that. The chart, just really pays attention to areas of the body and how that energetically shows up. So I'm wondering if you can just touch in on how the body really is involved in this whole process as it relates to human design.
Yes. So basically, I don't know, if your listeners know the chakra system or the Kabbalah, but basically human design, if, the chakra system has 7 chakras, in human design, we have 9 what we call 9 energy centers, that are also connected to different parts of our body. So every piece is when it's like in balance and healthy, it also gives us when we live fully in our design, it also gives us a full energetic body. And also, like, it's super important to learn how to really understand like conceptually, the concept of human design, your type, your authority. But until you don't really embody it, and until you don't really make it land into your body and live it fully, also, in how you sleep, how you eat, how you are supposed to move your body. Like, for example, for generators, it's important that they really every day move their body, like with physical activities, before going to bed, because they really need to, zone out and consume all the energy, so that they can go bed very, very tired, and then recharge completely their tank of energy and wake up with a new tank of energy full.
Oh, wow. So this even applies to lifestyle and movement.
Yeah, totally. Like, when I work with my client, we really create a plan also of lifestyle based on how they are supposed to manage their energy. For example, projectors who are not, I think you are projector, no?
No, I'm a manifestor, actually.
Okay. So they need, for example, to go to bed 1 hour before being tired, and like stay in bed reading a book, or do something that relaxes them, so that then they can sleep more quietly.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. And also the body piece, as you were mentioning, is also connected to the way we are supposed to make decisions, like what we call in human design the authority.
Yeah. So it kind of hones in on what area of the body you make decisions from.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's really fascinating. Well, so I'm wondering, because there's these couple of types. I know that human design is pretty complex and there's a lot that we could talk about here. But I'm just wondering, for the purposes of this podcast, since we have entrepreneurs who are listening in, if you could go through some of the types and maybe just mention a few things that are helpful to know in terms of people really maximizing their type in their business, what kind of tends to be their shadow side, and maybe what tends to be a way that they can really optimize their energy in their business. So if you have some tips in that area.
Yeah. So I will start from generator and manifesting generators that composed around the 70% of population. And they are energy types. So they have what we call the sacral center defined, meaning that they have constant access to energy. But this doesn't mean that they are supposed to slave on their business and work 8 hours or 10 hours because they have this energy. This means that they are supposed to really be the master and really be satisfied of the work they are doing, and be super light up and turn on and excited from the projects they are doing. If you're, for example, I have a client who is a generator, and we found that the perfect strategy for her is doing challenges and launching, her programs, because she's really excited about it. And the more she does that, the more she creates energy and the more she creates excitement. And from that place, since manifesting generator and generator have a very open and enveloping aura, they call in and they are, magnetic to call in clients and opportunity and synchronicities. So it's really for generator and manifesting generator, the shadow is since you have so much energy, pay attention to not engage yourself or spread yourself too thin in doing too many different things in your business that doesn't excite you, because you are going to deplete your energy and you are not going to be magnetic.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, it's going off of the principle of, we're not doing something that just really excites us, then our energy disappears. But if we're doing something that feels good for us, then there's more and more energy to do that with. Yeah. Okay.
And in business, if they have, for example, you're listening an online business, for manifesting generator and generators, a thing that is very, very important is the piece of wait to respond. That means that, for example, you have, I am manifesting generator, okay? I'm very connected with my intuition, I channel things, but I cannot, for example, channel the idea of one program and go out there and say, hey, I have this program, do you want this? Because I will most probably meet resistance. I will most probably not sell it. But if I have the download for a program I want to do, but instead of bam, going out there and doing it, I wait, I lean back, and I ask to the universe, okay, send me a sign, a green light that is the right thing for me. And I wait for an external or one or two external signals that this is the right thing. So, for example, someone after today asked me about this program, or I saw a movie that speaks exactly about the thing I want to do, or I listened to a podcast, and then I open Facebook and I see, a post that is exactly about what I want to do. Mm-hmm. So that is your sign to say, okay, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So you're responding to something external in order to bring something out into the world.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, makes total sense.
While we all have been conditioned to be like you, like manifestors. Manifestors are 8% or 8% of the population. And they are like the only type that can actually initiate. That means that basically they have they can decide to do something, act quickly and independently on it, and make it happen.
Okay, that sounds good.
So basically, you manifestor gives all of other types the things to respond to, or invitation.
Okay. So, but manifestors don't have that energy system within them, right?
No. So you are, you have to pay attention also to your energy, and it's in an ideal world would be awesome that if you create the idea, you create the movement, and then you have other people to do the work for you, like generators or manifesting generator.
That really resonates for me. I need more of that. Yeah, I feel that.
And it's also you are also super powerful because you have at least one activated channel between what we call the motor center and your throat center, which brings you like the superpower of manifesting. So you can manifest very quickly what you desire when you are in alignment.
Yeah, that's the key. It's always to be in alignment, right? Yeah. So it's interesting, even bringing in the topic of manifestation as we talk about, human design types, because, there's a ton out there in the online space about how to manifest. And I know a lot of coaches definitely provide these step-by-step ways of manifesting. And so, a lot of what I'm hearing from you is that that's very individual to each type. Is that right?
Totally. And it's also individual on each chart. There is a piece in the chart where you can actually see if you are what we say a specific manifestor or a non-specific manifestor. So if you are a specific manifestor, you have the capacity to really be super mega clear on what you want to manifest. Like, I want a blue car with this color of seat, this type of car, and really you can create that. And for non-specific manifesto, they do not need and they do not have to be specific. They just have to say, oh, I would love a new car that would make me feel amazing. They could tap more into the feeling.
Okay, got it. Okay, so even within the type, there's a little bit of a difference in how someone might go around it. Okay. So that's really fascinating. And I know that there's channels that are open and closed, right? And so that'll probably also change some of this, perhaps.
Totally. I mean, type and strategy, it's really the tip of the iceberg. And for me, even if already, all the world would knew how to use these two elements, would be a much better world. Because what I love about human design is that it says that we all came to this world as our higher self. We embody, we incarnate into this body already as our higher self. The problem is that after all the conditioning that we receive from family, school, teachers, grandparents, friends, makes us doubt ourselves and not believe that we know better, that we already have all the answers within.
Yes. I mean, I deeply resonate with that. It's what I teach as well. And so I always picture the golden egg in the middle, and then throughout our life we get covered by these different layers. And so it sounds like a lot of what human design does is it kind of helps you peel back those layers and find that light that's just shining normally and just naturally out into the world.
Totally. Yeah, it totally resonates with the type of work you also do.
Yeah. Well, so, and I'm curious to hear, so we talked a little bit about generators and manifesting generators and manifestors. I know that there's also projectors and reflectors. Yes. And so I'm curious to hear a little bit more about them and how they function and find success.
So the other two types are projectors and reflectors, and projectors are around 21% of the world population, and they are non-energy types, meaning they do not have a defined sacral center, and there is no connection with the throat center. So, which means that they have no built on potential for generating or manifesting. And that doesn't mean that they cannot make things happen. It just means that they need to learn how to leverage the strategy and their authority and work really well leveraging the energy of the people around them. So projectors are here to be the guides, are here to be really the coach, the guides, the leaders, because they have this capacity of really seeing through people. They can sense energy. They can sense really beautifully inside of one person what's going on. And they are really able to engage with people on a deep energetic level. Mm-hmm. And for them, the challenge here, like the shadow, we can say, is that they know so much that sometimes, they can be too bossy or they can be too opinionated if they do not wait for the invitation. Meaning that, for example, my husband is a projector and he sees me very deeply. And when he tried to push on me his knowledge or what he sees, I'm like, no, I'm not interested. They face rejection. But if I say, hey, can you share with me what you think about that? So I will receive his feedback and his guidance with an open heart.
Yeah, so there's also lots of different ways you can work with human design, just even in relationships, it sounds like. Yeah. Okay.
And in parenting, totally. When you know your children's also a type of energy, it's so fascinating. See how everyone is different.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's so intricate. It's just it's amazing. Yeah. And then reflectors are a really small part of the population, right?
Yeah, reflectors are very, very unique, and they are 1% of the population, so very, very few. And they basically, what is very unique about them is that every single one of their 9 center is undefined, which means that they have no inner authority to guide them. And they are really here to be the mirror of the society, be the mirror of what is going on in a community. And they have very funny authority that is to wait a lunar cycle, so 28 days before making a decision.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what kinds of, I'm just curious, what kinds of leadership roles would people have in business or society in general as reflectors? would they be like organizers reflecting kind of the consciousness of?
Yeah, reflectors are like meant to hold space at the center of a community.
Okay.
So they have like this auric field that is designed to sample the energy and auras of all the other types.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they are like barometers of the emotional, mental, physical health of a community. So for them, it's very, very key that they surround themselves with, high energy or good energy people, because they basically absorb, since they are so open, they basically absorb all other people energy and emotion.
Wow, that's powerful. Yeah. Okay. And what do they, I mean, I know that this is a small, portion of the population, so I don't know if any reflectors would be listening, but I'm just curious, what tends to be their shadow piece that comes up?
Yeah, their shadow piece is like identify themselves with the people they're with, and not like separating quote unquote their energy from what the other people are vibrating. And they like tend to feel things personally, when in reality a lot of time is just that they are sampling and mirroring energy.
Yeah, so
they have a very like depending day-to-day mood that depend on where they are and who they are with. So they have to be really exactly intense curator of their boundaries and who they surround them with.
It kind of sounds a little bit like an empath. Just, I wonder if they're maybe even more sensitive than empaths. I'm not sure how that shows up, but
yeah, I mean, both all the people that have that are very undefined, like they have a lot of open centers, like projectors, reflectors. They are really empathic person, because they can feel a lot other people.
Yeah. And so I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm familiar with a human design chart. At least I know what it looks like. And so, and maybe you can explain this a little bit more. There, the energy centers, which there's 9 of, some of them have colored in areas and some of them are empty, right?
Yes.
And so when it's colored in, it means it's defined. When it's not colored in, it means it's open.
Yes.
Okay. And so what are some of the pitfalls and good things about having an open center versus one that's defined?
So it's very like a long explanation, but what I would say, but first and foremost, that there is no bad or good human design. Like every one of us is perfectly designed how we are meant to be. And I listen to a lot of people saying, oh my God, I want to be a manifestor because I manifest. Or I don't like to be a projector because I need to wait for the invitation. But there is no, better or worse. We are all perfect how we are. So the fact is that the center is not at, if it's open is better, if it's closed is worse, or the opposite. It just means that when it's defined, we have constant access to this type of energy. And when it's undefined, we do not have constant access to this type of energy, and we are more open and to receive and sample other people's energy. So I'll make you an example. I have an open ego center or will center, as in Human Design says. And it means that for all my life, like I will, quote unquote, struggling with self-worth. Because this is the shadow of the center, like, questioning all the time, am I worthy? Am I worthy? Am I worthy? And this is also what I'm here to learn in this life. And I'm also here to teach, and it's super important for me to have someone reminding me, oh no, you're doing good, you're great, like having a coach, having someone at my side. But at the same time, having this center open, I'm very capable to, feel other people, to be very open to other people's needs, and all the space for them.
Yeah. It's like the soul's journey, right? I feel like our souls come here for a specific purpose, and we grow through some of the places that we're challenged. And
exactly.
Yeah. That's a beautiful way of explaining it. The other thing that I know that I feel like often comes up with, all of the human design types that respond. I feel like I hear a lot of confusion about what that means. And you explained it in terms of waiting for signs. But I think when it comes to, for instance, like selling things, inviting people into programs, I see people getting confused about what it means to respond. Like, do I have to wait for someone to ask me about the program, or how do I really effectively sell to people while still being in honor of my human design? So I'm curious to hear a little bit more about that.
So it is different, like for every type. Like, for example, you as Manifestos, you can actually, go there and saying, hey guys, I have this program. I think it's awesome. You should be in, sign up here. And you can even, cold message, quote unquote, people and say, hey, I really feel that you are an awesome fit for this program. I would really love to share with you. Okay. And this works for you. But for all the other type, it doesn't. So it's like for like generator and manifesting generator, this means that it's not that, you have to sit in your couch and say, okay, I wait for someone, to ask me business. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I have received the signals that this offer, it's good, that the market wanted and my community wanted. So I created it from the excitement, from, this turn on sacral center that is like also like a sexual energy. And then I go out there and I promote it with my excitement, and I invite people in, and I share with them. And really my aura is my advertising. Like, it's going to magnetize the cold people into the program.
So it's really being in tune with kind of where like your authority is, and then, like the energy that's being projected from that center.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's powerful, because we talk a lot about energy and how someone shows up in the room. And it sounds like human design really has specific, depending on what human design are, and then your inner authority, there's certain areas that you maybe want to focus on to augment that energy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So for example, projectors on the other side, they are a type that is really designed to niche down. So they thrive when they have a niche, and when they have a very specific thing that they become master of, and they create like their own system, and they like share their knowledge, share their bliss, their love for what they do. And this automatically will attract people to invite them.
Okay. How powerful. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. So is there, I mean, I guess I'm just kind of curious about, is there like a favorite success story you have, or maybe something that's really worked for you that's just coming up intuitively for me? Because I love this piece that, you know, I think you really are highly promoting in your business and obviously through human design, which is that there is no cookie cutter model to
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship. And while there's helpful tips and things that you should know, maybe from a marketing perspective, at the end of the day, it's all about fitting those things in and how it truly works for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um, yeah. So are there any stories that,
Yeah.
you know,
I have a story.
okay,
Like
great.
I have one of my actual clients that she's a generator with emotional authority. So that means that okay, you are a generator, so you have to respond with your sacral. But then, before acting on your decision, you also have to go through the emotional waves of your decision. So, we decided together to launch her first challenge. And she didn't have a community, she didn't have a Facebook group, she has a very minimum audience. And we like craft it based on what her people in her surrounding asked her, or respond to her content. So we create the challenge, we create the content, and before doing that, she felt into the excitement of the sacral, and then she moved through like 2 days of emotional waves where she was like, I'm very excited, and then I'm scared, and then I feel vulnerable, and then no, let's do it. Because that's like the emotional waves, and you cannot force it. Like you have to let it pass and make then the action and the decision from a clear emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and she with just 2-3 posters, she had 60 people sign up for the challenge, and she sold 5 spots for group programs. And in the same month, she signed 2 one-on-one clients.
Wow, that's amazing. Especially not having a big audience, like that's pretty incredible. Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. So
And now she's like doing it. Sorry, now she's like doing another challenge, and she's like, this is feel so easy. Like this is feel natural to me. Now I'm feeling excited, and I know I can do it, and it's like easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, once you're really in alignment, it should feel easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it doesn't have to be hard work. It can be joyful work. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So a part of what I heard in the share was also that for her specific human design chart, it was normal for her to kind of experience these emotional ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes we really vilify that in the entrepreneurial world. Like you always have to be feeling this way in order to manifest, in order to bring people in. And, I don't think that's true across the board, but for her specifically, it just sounds like it's part of her human design chart and how she functions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I also have an emotional authority. So our mantra is like, there is no truth in the now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, now I'm feeling very sad, but I know that I honor this feeling, but I know that it's just also a chemical way of my body of communicating with me. Mm-hmm. So instead of like staying there and saying, oh my God, what does it mean? Nah, nah, nah. It's like, okay, I'm sad. I honor myself. Like I take extra self-care today. I gave myself love. And I know that it will pass, and maybe in 2 hours I will be again excited. And then, I trust the divine guidance and the universe that as soon as I will feel clear and then in a calm state, that's the best place where to take actions.
Okay. Yeah, so there's just a lot of deeper trust involved, and also knowing that information, it feels like you can really kind of take the witness perspective on your experience and really gain a lot more control over your experience versus beating yourself up for feeling what you're feeling or experiencing what you're experiencing.
Totally.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow. Thank you for sharing all of that. Is there anything else that feels important to you to share about human design specifically that you'd want our listeners to know?
Well, I think that there is, as you said, so many layers and so much depth in it. But if, your listeners want to, go do their charts and just check into their type, their profile and their authority, already, learning a little bit more about that is very important.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for saying that. And, I will also link a place in the show notes where you can go and get your chart done so you can kind of have the chart. But it is really complex. And
yes.
So, I definitely, even after reading about it and looking at it, I had to get a reading from someone because it just feels like I could sit with it for forever and just keep learning new things. So,
and another thing I want to say is like it's important to not, if you do not want to make this your work, instead of going into the rabbit hole of searching all the information, books, podcasts, because instead of being helpful, it can become like overwhelming and you can go too much into your head. That is exactly what human design says not to do. Like human design says we cannot, for any kind of type, we cannot make decision from the mind.
So important.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, when you discover it and if you want to know more, it's better to find someone that can really read your chart or help you with that. And then like I feel that a very important piece is helping you in the embodiment of your design. Because when I learned 1 year ago, I'm a manifesting generator and I need to wait to respond. I was like, yeah, but what does it mean? How does it apply to my business?
Yeah. It is so intricate. And I love this piece that you're highlighting, which is, I think as entrepreneurs, we're very used to and programmed in our culture to make decisions from the head of this makes sense, or this is rational, or let me figure this out. But human design, and I think, when we're really leading from an aligned place, it has to come from the body. So depending on your human design chart and where that is in your body, that's the important thing to kind of tune into.
Totally.
Yeah. So, I mean, Elisa is a wonderful resource if you are interested in getting your chart read by her. And I'll include the link so you can at least get your chart and take a look at what all of this looks like. Since we're on a podcast, you won't be able to visually see a lot of what we're talking about, but I highly encourage you to look up your chart. And that way, maybe some of these defined, undefined, inner authority kind of concepts that we're talking about might make a little bit more sense just in the context of your own chart. And Elisa, I would love to, is there anything that you'd like to, let my audience know about in terms of anything that you have coming up in your business that you're excited about that you want to share?
So I will have this Saturday, but I think it's too soon, but I will have a virtual mini retreat of 2 hours. That is really, a good option because it's just $88, where we are going to work more on the shadow side of the chart. So like what we call the not self theme in your chart, and how to, work with that and unblock them and really feel in alignment.
Okay. So it's kind of like a group class.
Exactly, of 2 hours. And then I'm still taking one-on-one clients for May, with, the human design, apply with the business and the alignment. And then I'm going to launch very soon a group program all around alignment and human design and business.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay. Well, yeah, the episode won't be out by this Saturday. However, all of those other offerings that you mentioned sound great. And I'd highly encourage you to check Elisa out because she's amazing. And I just so value the work that you do. Thank you so much for joining me today. And thank you, listeners, for being here with us. If you loved this episode, I invite you to review us on iTunes and let us know that you enjoyed it. And also follow Elisa on Instagram, check out her website, and check out your individual human design chart. And I encourage you to really dive in. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.